Alright, so I've been watching families around the Silicon Valley periodically from time to time. I definitely get a lot of observance in the libraries. So I'm getting kind of a pattern developing with that I'm noticing developing with families. But it's hard to understand what's going on with the foreigners, of course. They just have to be excluded. I have no idea. I can kind of watch their behaviors, but it's interesting how it's working out. You know, now that I think about it with the foreigners, have been a lot. I've passed by a lot of kids programs now that school is out, and it's just camp counselors or just clubs or something. They're all speaking English. I haven't noticed any Spanish or even Chinese. They congregate in the parks, you know, and during the daytime and just play their games, rushing each other and throwing balls wherever. Just practicing discipline in groups. It's amusing to pass by and watch. I don't want to just stop and stare or anything. Just pass by and observe what I do as I'm passing. But I've heard witty comments. I've seen things that look like fun that I don't recall ever doing when I was a kid. The closest like summer program I've ever done, I did once, was kind of twice, but one was a summer camp. And that was, 1.5, 2 weeks. I isolated myself quite a bit. I did sign up for groups and stuff, but I can't believe I signed up for basket weaving. I just couldn't decide on any groups. And then the Boy Scouts thing, but it just something about that. I just seem to have not been the participation rates weren't there on the same level in the Boy Scout thing as compared to the other one that was funded by the Lions. I can't remember exactly. I had to write a letter to them thanking them for sponsoring me, and it was one of them Elks or Lions groups. They put forth some money to sponsor a kid, possibly a kid who's poor. I'm not sure how they made the process, but that's interesting how that works. All right, imagine doing that every year. It's like something a kid look forward to doing every year. I guess I could say I did it twice. Okay, in 2 separate years, a few years apart from each other, but I'm thinking that the kids around here are probably doing it every year for their age groups. You know, you got the infants practically not toddlers, but kids that are like 4, I think, kids that look like they're 4, learning how to skateboard in the skate park. They're all like, they got instructors and guys giving them confidence and showing them how to go down the hills and stuff and jump and all that. It's amazing. And then you got the groups that are on the grass fields just practicing discipline and forming up and then establishing themselves for games and stuff in the summertime. I mean, this costs parents money, but it's probably pocket change in a lot of cases for many of them, and they can do it yearly. Where, for my case, I wasn't a part of any of that. I guess there was free groups that you could get into, but I didn't know it at the time. Like, I missed out. Well, this is high school. I missed out on this like football camp. No, actually, it was middle school. I missed out on this football camp. There's a summer thing that was maybe for a few days, and they'd just have you train and do exercising and stuff. I didn't sign up because I thought it was going to cost money, and I don't want to burden my mom for that price. I come to find out later that it was all free anyway. The coach came up to me and asked me why I didn't participate, and I was like, I didn't want to pay that money. I didn't have the money for a simple thing. For his time, it just makes sense. I mean, for him to spend his time to go through exercising, the kids and disciplining kids for those few hours, you'd think you'd want some compensation for that. So I figured that would cost money. I asked no questions. I just avoided it, and yeah, a lot of my classmates were a part of it. It's not like I missed out on anything major, but for kids, it's like it's pocket change. They don't even think of the cost. It's just something that you have to do. It's like, don't ask any questions. It's just something you have to do. Well, I'm questioning what's the cost. Do I want to eat? Do we want to have heat for the winter time? Is it practical? Is it something that's gonna pay off like multiple times afterward, after the experience? You don't just take part in some kind of group activity unless if it has a big payoff for the cost. All right, you don't just join a group and take part in that activity just for the fun of it, and then experience no reward afterward. All right, it's really, there really needs to be a reward afterward. Otherwise, it's just a loss, and then you're sitting with even less money for an emergency, or just anything. Yeah, that could be a burden later. You have to conserve and protect what little you have, so you can be prepared for anything major. But it looks like energy and money flows freely around here. It's very different, and I'm gonna guess that maybe the weather has something to do with it. They don't have the rain days, and maybe the energy here. Maybe there's just the soil type is different to influence behaviors. It's not dry. It's hot, and it can get dry and kind of dry and dusty, but there's grassland. It's close enough to the ocean where it's not like Las Vegas desert. It's not a complete wasteland like even San Diego. So yeah, there's that.